everybody, welcome back to Baseline Farms. My name is Jade. So today I'm going to give you a quick garden tour. I didn't realize he was here. Of the gardens and how everything is doing. Our weather has been so unpredictable lately. We had on and off rain. Like last night it rained. So today is Tuesday. And I've been meaning to get out here and do a vlog for some time now. But it's just been cold and rainy, and so I've been, doing a lot of inside chores and stuff like that. But today I'm going to give you this garden vlog and then show you what is happening in the trailer. I finally finished the apron, but I put it in the washing machine, so I'm going to have to show you how it looks afterwards. And but I'm going to show you how to make those strawberries, and I separated all of the tomatoes. The seedlings are ready to be hardened off, so I need to set up some tables inside the garden so that way I could start bringing them out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me just get started on this garden vlog. So here are the red onions, and the red onions are doing so good. Really, really good. Matter of fact, I noticed there's a couple of them already shooting out little stalks where it looks like it's about to flower. So I might be harvesting, I guess cutting the tops off pretty soon, so that way we could do some onion top pesto, which is going to be so, oh my gosh, so delicious. But yeah, so these red onions are doing really good. And in this bed I have a couple rows of onions, and then I have one row of garlic, and the garlic is doing excellent. And then over here we have some more, these are yellow onions, and then we have a couple rows of red onions, and then some more yellow onions over there in the very back. And then over here, some more onions. We have some white onions, I believe 2 rows of white onions, and some Mod Podge of red onion and some green onions at the very end. So that is what's happening over here in the little garden. Just, a lot of onion and garlic production, doing really well. We do have this little, oopsie daisy, this little blackberry. Let me show you, give you better look. This little guy right here, and it's doing really good. So this raspberry bush, blackberry bush. This blackberry bush popped up from a runner because I had my blackberries over here. And so, so I just allowed it to grow, and so far so good. It's doing pretty good. So I'm hoping that we get some sort of blackberry from this area. And my goal is to make this garden, this little garden, a cut flower garden. So eventually I'm going to take out all of these little makeshift raised beds. And these are just some frames that I found out in the fields, nothing fancy. I just brought them in here, propped them up on some bricks and leveled the ground and put some soil in it. So this is nothing fancy. I'm just going to take this out and then amend the soil, make little mounds, and then do my little cut flower garden that way. So I don't know if this year I'm going to do a cut flower garden if these onions and garlic are going to be ready, because I believe I'm going to be harvesting them in June. So I don't know if that's too late to start flowers, but either way, I'm just going to get this area ready and take out all the garden beds and things like that. But let me show you what's happening in the big garden. All right, so over here are some more red onions, and so far so good. I have a little row of yellow onions in the back there, but all of these are doing so good, so I cannot wait to harvest them. And then here are some garden beds. So my goal for these garden beds is to add, I don't know if I'm going to add drip, but I'm going to do, like you could get these little hoses and add little, I think they're called the emitters. I think that's what they're called. So you could just, put these little adapters to the, so on these drip lines, it has little holes. I don't know if you could see that right there. It has a little hole, and you can put a little emitter on there with a little tube and guide the water to where you want to go. So I don't know if I'm going to add more drip or just do that. So many possibilities now that I've been reading this little free pamphlet that I got at the gardening store. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing with those 2 beds. And then this bed, this is where I have all of our, not all of it. No, that's right. I do have all of our spinach right here, and I put a netting over this garden bed because the birds were eating all of the spinach, and I wasn't getting any spinach. So ever since I put this netting up, we've been harvesting a lot of spinach, so that's so exciting. And then we have some carrots right over here in this little front row that are doing really good. And I know once the weather starts to warm up, which it is, we're going to be starting to get some nights. Our nights are going to start getting warmer, like in the 40s. So that's pretty nice. So I did succession sow some more carrots and some more spinach in that bed. All right, so off to the garlic. All right, so here is all of the garlic, and this is the most garlic I've ever grown, and I'm so pleased with it. Everything, I mean, so far it looks really good. And I don't know, if you haven't grown your own garlic, you need to try it. Just put some in a pot, put it in a nice little sunny area. You don't even have to do anything to it. I started these, I want to say in October, November, something like that. And I didn't even have to water it for the whole winter. So it is such an easy, hands off, you don't have to do anything. Just pop it into the soil and just let it do the rest. And you know, when I first started gardening, I didn't know anything. I've lived on this property now for 13 years, I think going on 14 years now. And I never gardened anything in my life until 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, when the pandemic hit, I already started seeds because I tried to start seeds the year before, but then they all died. And so then I, kept doing it and I was determined to start a garden. And so I just bought, Miracle-Gro. I did everything on a budget. And and I had I known it would be this easy, I probably would have started gardening 13 years ago, because the food is so delicious when you grow it, and it's so satisfying to be able to grow your own food. And you don't need to have a huge garden like this. You could grow in your patio as long as you have some sun, soil, some pots. You could, make some garden beds. You could get some black pots that if you can find some free ones from a nursery or something like that, and just start a few little things. But to grow your own spinach and to grow, just things that you use on a daily basis is so satisfying. And so last year, it was the first year that I ever grew this amount of food and jarred it, canned it. Last year was the first year, so I canned a bunch of pickles, some salsa, tomato sauce, stewed tomatoes. I made some tomato broth, and I think that's pretty much it. I did freeze a bunch of zucchini, which I found out later that it doesn't taste as good when it's thawed out the second time around. So I don't know how else to preserve zucchini. I think you just have to eat it fresh that year. but I tried. And so, and I did not realize that you need a lot of tomatoes to make a jar of spaghetti sauce into, stewed tomatoes. You just need a lot. So this year, last year I started way too many tomato seeds. I started over 200. And so this year I think I'm up to like 105, which I might use a good amount of them in this garden because we have a few more garden beds that I could fill up. But so if you're interested in starting gardening, I am no expert, and I just started doing this, so it's very easy, and you would be so pleased with yourself. And I'm just proud of myself every time I come out here and I see things growing, especially when I just started some seeds and I'm harvesting from them. I just feel so proud of myself, and I feel so satisfied, and that I could grow food. It's just so satisfying to know that you can grow food. And it's just like, it feels so secured. I feel so secure. Like I know that if I needed anything, I don't have to go to the supermarket to get it. I have lamb in our freezer that we grew. Now, not everyone can grow lamb, but I have eggs from our chickens. And I know that in some residential areas, you can have at least 2 chickens. You can't have any roosters, I know that. But you can have a couple chickens, I believe. You just have to find out in your area if you can have chickens or not. You got to find out from the county or the city. But if you can have your own chickens, it doesn't take very much. You just have to make sure you have a little clean spot for them, and just feed them, give them water and some love, and then they'll give you some eggs. I mean, they're going to give you eggs whether you give them love or not, but it's kind of satisfying to be able to collect your eggs, grow your own meat, grow your own vegetables, and cook your own food with it. I never knew how satisfying it was until I actually experienced it for myself, because I never knew that I would ever be able to do this. I had no clue, just no clue. And so last year was the first year that we used mushroom compost in the garden beds. We just bought a big dump truck full of this mushroom compost, and that soil worked phenomenal. I'm so pleased with it. But the prior years, I just planted right into the soil. They didn't get super big because our ground is like clay. So then the next following year, I dragged some wood from the field, made some raised beds, and then I got some more tomatoes and then some more cucumbers. And then from there, I just, just got bigger and bigger. It's kind of an addicting habit. But yeah, before I didn't have no irrigation. I had to hand water everything, and it took me over 2 hours to water everything. So, that's some dedication right there. All right, so over here we have another blackberry bush, and it's doing so good. Just like the other one, it's doing really, really good. It has a lot of new little growth here, and I'm so excited. So I hope we get a good amount of blackberries from this little blackberry bush and from the little one over there in the other garden. All right, so now we have our one cauliflower. Now you guys, the cauliflower got aphids. I thought that we were actually too cold right now to get some aphids, but there's some aphids in here. Let me see if I could zoom in. Oh, they're so nasty. They're right. Let me see if I could show you. Okay, let me give you a better view. All right, so do you see those little grayish black dots right there? Those are aphids, and there's so many of them. Now, I have seen some ladybugs, but I think it's just still a little bit too cold for, I see the ladybugs, but they're just not moving, and they're not dead either. They're just moving really slow. So, I don't know. I thought it was too cold to have aphids, so unless these aphids are evolving, then I don't know, but we have some aphids. So I'm just gonna let this cauliflower grow just so I can see what it looks like. I'm not gonna spray anything on it. I'm just gonna leave it there, because if it's already attracting aphids, then I'm hoping that it doesn't, the aphids won't go onto the cauliflower. Because what I found out is that the aphids really like cauliflower, cabbage, what else? Brussels sprouts, obviously broccoli, and I think those are pretty much that I've seen the aphids on. And so I'll just leave this here. Maybe it'll distract the aphids, and so the aphids won't go on any other vegetable. But I'm kind of bummed out. I was hoping to get some cauliflower. But let me show you what's happening over here in with all the broccoli. All right, so here is all of the broccoli. Now, we harvested quite a bit of broccoli from here, and some of it I noticed is already flowering. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest all the ones that I feel that are ready to harvest. And I'm so pleased with this garden patch. Now, I feel that if I were to have a farm market, I'm definitely gonna have to, have more broccoli than this. And I'm finding out that the things that are doing really good are carrots. Spinach is doing really good. Carrots, all the root vegetables seem to be doing really good. Like beets do really well. We had beets early in the season, and now we don't have any more. I should have planted some more. I should have succession sowed some more, which I think I still can. But those were really good. So we could do beets. What else did I? Turnips. I had some turnips. That's what it was. It wasn't beets. It was turnips. I grew a bunch of turnips, and those did so well. So yeah, I totally forgot about those. I should plant some more of those. Those are delicious. But these seem to flower really early, and it probably this time of season that I planted them. I planted them late. Was it late summer, early fall? So I know I could do another succession. Succession sowing. I think I succession sow another bed of broccoli, and I could probably get some broccoli in springtime, and I might just do that. That might be a good idea. But yeah, so this is doing really good, and maybe I'll do that. I'll start some seeds to see how the spring broccoli looks, because maybe that one looks different than this, because this one seemed to flower really fast. I mean, and the heads are really small too. So yeah, so that's how this is doing. But then over here, these carrots, I tell you what, they don't disappoint. They do not disappoint. I am so happy with the amount of carrots that I planted now. I know for next year, I'm definitely going to plant more carrots and more spinach. So those are the two things, and turnips. Turnips for sure. But yeah, the carrots are doing so good. It's so funny. The other day, we're cooking and I grabbed a bunch of these carrots and my daughter says, "Don't we have any of those orange carrots?" And I was looking at her like kind of crazy thinking, no, why would you want just regular orange carrot? These are so colorful. I guess you just get so used to a particular color. So since she said that, I did plant some oranges, boring orange carrots. But I don't know, I kind of like the rainbow carrots. It just is such a nice little mixture of color in your food and things. It's just so pretty. And why not grow things that are pretty? It's so nice. So here is our Myers lemon. No lemons, but it's okay. I don't even see any new growth either, but the leaves are still there, so hopefully we get some lemons. I am so looking forward to the day we get some lemons. But yeah, all the garden beds, I still had to fix the irrigation that I broke. I haven't done that because I know I had to dig deep to do that, and it's just been cold and wet. And so soon, I'll be doing that soon, because I know I need to get these garden beds ready, because I'm going to show you how the seeds are doing, and the seeds are doing so good. The chickens are doing, everything's doing really, really well. I mean, despite this cold weather, everybody is doing really good. I put some straw in the chicken coop area because there was like a wet patch there. It just wasn't drying up. And so, I don't know, I'm hoping that straw will suck it up. And the skunk, I kind of just left it alone. I don't have time to mess around with trying to figure out how to get rid of them. We do have a trap, and we have tried to trap him, but he got out. He's a smart little sucker. So I don't know. I haven't smelt him around in a while. Like every once in a while, you could smell him on the dogs. Like the dogs will go after him, but I haven't smelt him in a while. So maybe he's out hunting. I don't know. John thinks it's a female, and that it's burrowing underneath the barn as a den, which I hope not. I hope we don't have baby skunks. All right, let's go and take a look at the seedlings. Ooh. Eventually, I'm going to paint this trailer because I don't really care for the periwinkle blue, but this was John's trailer back in the day when he used to do events. Okay, so look at all of the tomatoes. Let me turn off this light. Okay, can you see that? Look at how everything's doing. Everything's doing so good. Look at that. So I separated all the tomatoes into these little containers right here, and I used a green all potting soil that's from our local nursery. So these are our cucumbers right in there, and some more tomatoes. And then these are our peppers right here, and some artichokes. These are all our artichokes. I also separated them. And then we have some basil, and I only have 4 basil that popped up. And then over here on this top, I think these are our duds. Nothing is coming up. No basil, no eggplant, and we have 1 artichoke right there. But yeah, so these are looking so good. Everything's looking really, really nice. And they look so happy. Ever since I potted them up into their own little containers, they look so stinking happy. All right, so that's how all the seedlings are doing. Everything's doing so good. I am so excited. I cannot wait. They just look so happy ever since I pot them up. And I just used some recycle, those little plastic recycle. Let me show you here. These little guys that you just get from the nursery. So I just recycle these so that way, you know, I don't have to buy any. And yeah, and they work pretty good. So I might just, I don't know. I know I have some extra little tomatoes down there. Like up here I have 50 tomatoes, and then down below, including those, I think it's 105 total. So I might make a couple little trays of Mod Podge to give away. So it's some cucumbers, because I have a lot of cucumbers and peppers. But yeah, I still have to think about what else I'm going to plant. Some zucchini, I think I'm going to plant some pumpkins. But first, let me show you how I make those strawberries. And so what you're going to need is some fabric. You can use any kind of fabric. So I have just regular polka dotted fabric like this. And then I use felt for the leaves, so I just cut the little felt, look like little leaves. And then I use yarn for the top part. So this is what it'll end up looking like. Isn't that so cute? So adorable. So I just make a whole bunch of these because we do that strawberry festival, and so I try to make everything from fabric and try to not use a lot of plastic and paper. But you can also make them into little, what are these called? I forgot what these are called. Pin cushions. You can make it into little pin cushions. You can put rice in it. I mean, there's just so many possibilities, and they're just so stinking cute and so easy. So first you're gonna do your, let me show you. I'm just gonna use this lid right here. Oopsie daisy. Let me adjust this camera. There we go. All right. So I'm just gonna use this lid, and what you're gonna do is just make a half circle. So that's about right. Just like that. So I'm just gonna make a little half circle. I mean, you could use anything to make a circle. It doesn't really matter. You just need to make a half circle. So there's our little half circle. So now we're just going to go ahead and cut it out. Okay. Now that you have it cut out, you just want to fold it right in half. And this is so fun. So if you want a project for your kids, this is such a fun little project that they can do. You can make little baby mobiles, like a little baby mobile. I think that's what they call it, mobile, and have it hanging from the top. Okay, so yeah, so now you just have this little cone shape, and now we're gonna stitch it with the sewing machine. Now you can hand stitch this also, so you don't need to have a sewing machine to do it. You just have to do the zigzag type of stitching. But let me show you how we sew it. Okay, so now we're gonna sew along this edge right here. Just like that. And then you're gonna turn it inside out. Just like that. So it looks like a little cone. Then you're gonna get your yarn. Alright, so now you're going to get your yarn, and you're just going to go ahead and get this little string off. And then you're just going to go ahead and weave it in and out. Oh, I forgot. You got to tie a knot on this end so it doesn't go through. So you're not going to weave it all the way to the very end. You're just going to do it like halfway because you still need to stuff it. And you can pretty much do the whole strawberry this way if you want to do it with kids and do a little project with them. So fun. And they're so stinking cute and so easy to make. So now you have your little area for stuffing right there. So I just have some of this batting, not batting, yeah. Not batting, stuffing. I have some stuffing that I just bought from the local fabric shop. Or the hobby store. I think they have it at the hobby store as well. So you can stuff them as firm as you like. If you want them soft, you can make them soft. If you want them firm, you can make them firm. There, so just like that. Now you want to finish up the stitching all the way to the end. Okay, starting to look like a strawberry. So cute. So now you want to just secure the top. Okay, so now you want to start placing your leaves. So I have some leaves here. These are just cut out of felt, and you just want to place them to where you want them. So then you string the string through the leaf, just like that, and you just sew the leaf where you want it. And there you have it, a cute little strawberry. Isn't that so cute? It did not take very long. So I feel like you could add a couple more leaves, you know, to hide some little gaps here and there. But isn't that so stinking cute? Look at that. So cute. So you can make these into little ornaments. Look at that, so adorable. So I've made a couple of them already. Look at that. They're just so much fun to make. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So thank you for hanging out with me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And hopefully you start some seeds and make a couple little strawberries just for fun. All right, take care, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.